welcome back to the All Things Good channel and to a new video. Hope you're all doing really well this week. I have to start this video by explaining why there was no vlog last Sunday, which I really apologise for. But unfortunately, I'd had a very traumatic week last week, which ended unfortunately in the sad passing of my second cat, Lenny. So I'm very emotional still. I'm heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. And the house is very different without him. But I couldn't vlog last week. I seem to have one disaster after another that happened from the previous Friday actually. And lots of different household issues. Mum had got a massive wasp's nest in her, just outside her conservatory at her property. My fridge freezer completely broke down, so I had no fridge and no freezer for over a week, which was a nightmare. I now have a new one, which is another story. Got myself locked in the bathroom and had to get a carpenter. Well, I'm out, obviously, clearly. I was able to get out, but then I had to get a carpenter out to fix the ensuite bathroom door. And then at the start of last week, I noticed that Lenny was starting to look quite unwell. And actually Lenny, who had always been a massive, great big lump of a fat cat, always, all his life, he'd been a really big cat, had actually started to lose a bit of weight last year. And I put it down to him being more active because in my previous property, he used to be an indoor cat. And when we moved to this house 3 years ago, he slowly started to go outside. And as of about 12 months ago, he was effectively going in and out as he pleased, and he would do the same as Albert. And he did lose some weight and put it down to him being active. And I think that was right and that was fine. But this last month or so, he's gone very thin and very scraggy, and his fur was problematic, and I was brushing him every day, but it was still looking scraggy and not very nice. And but just this last week, I noticed that he had no voice. So he was trying to meow and nothing was coming out, and he was drinking a lot more water, loads and loads of water. So I made a decision at the start of the week. I thought, I think I will go and get him checked out by the vets because he is very thin. And I picked him up on Tuesday morning, and I could feel all his spine and his collarbones was sticking out, and I thought, no, he's far too thin. And took him to the vets on Thursday morning, where unfortunately he'd gone from weighing almost 8 kilograms, which is really overweight, last September. He was down to 3.1, so severely underweight. And the vet looked in his mouth and checked him over. He was very jaundiced, and then told me that he had a massive liver tumour, and his liver was very enlarged, and he was on his last days in any event. So Lenny was put to sleep there and then with him. And yeah, it's been a really hard week. I'm sure any of you that are pet owners that have lost pets will understand the feeling, and I wouldn't belittle it ever with anybody. I think, you know, they become part of the family, and you do grieve for them. And I think other pets, you know, my pets are quite confused as to where he is, so I think they're grieving as well. But I don't think that sort of pet grief should be underestimated at all. You know, we have our pets and we love them, and they bring us so much happiness. I mean, there's millions of videos here on YouTube of funny video cats, loving videos of cats and dogs, and that's because they bring us happiness, don't they, and love, which are real emotions. So I think when they pass, grief equally is a real emotion, and it's hit me very hard this week. So anyway, that's the reason there was no video this week. But this is the All Things Good channel, and it's about positivity and getting on with things and making the most out of life and having our blessings in the things that we do have around us, and the people and the pets and everybody else in our lives that's bringing us happiness and positivity. So let's get into this week's video. I hope you enjoy it. Good morning everybody. It's Tuesday morning, don't I look a delight? I've literally just got up. So I'm just about to make my coffee. But very overwhelmed last week, obviously, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and I need to organise everything. The house is a state. I mean, just look at my kitchen. There is stuff absolutely everywhere. Nothing is tidy, nothing is clean, but look at the sunshine, it's a beautiful day. I've just been doing the basics because I just felt rotten. You know what it's like? But it's just such a gorgeous day. Look through my kitchen window. Look at the beautiful sunshine. So, you know, anyway, let's put this tripod back down because I'm not very good at manoeuvring about, am I, with the camera? There we go. So I'm just gonna make my coffee. And one thing I always do every day religiously as well is I take quite a lot of vitamins. And this is my little vitamin caddy. Actually, this is a Mrs. Hinch caddy, and I bought it from Tesco's quite a long time ago. And I just put vitamins on here so everybody's aware of what it is. I do have normal medication that I take every day because I have arthritis. So I do have to take a drug called naproxen, and I have to take a drug called omeprazole, which protects my stomach from the naproxen. So those are my medication tablets. Plus I take ferrous fumarate for very low iron. So I did go to the doctor yesterday because I was feeling that, well, very overwhelmed, but more so than I think normal, and more so I've reacted very deeply to Lenny's passing, which again I think is normal, but I know I'm very hormonal, so I know it's the menopause on its way. And took myself off to the doctors, which was recommended to me by the nurse that did my smear test a couple of weeks ago. And fortunately I saw a female doctor who's very, very qualified in menopause. Huge chat about it, there's no doubt about it. That's where I'm heading into very, very quickly. And she did recommend that I do up my ferrous fumarate for a little bit. She also recommended that I take, just for a couple of weeks, propranolol, which is a beta blocker, because I have been a bit anxious. And in the meantime, while I'm on that, she is looking into HRT for me, because I always thought I wasn't a candidate for HRT. I've been told before by a gynaecologist can't have it, because you can't have it if you've had malignant melanoma. This particular doctor said she wants a second opinion on that. She said some gynaecologists are only specialised literally in certain areas and not in others, and she's very experienced in HRT and she's never come across that decision before. So she's looking into it for me. In the meantime, she wants me to just try and relax and, you know, get over this, really. Well, not get over it, but, you know, deal with it and have, you know, be able to juggle everything that I have to juggle every day. So, but I was going to show you the vitamins that I do take every day, that I think really help me keep going because I have such a busy lifestyle. One thing I take all year round, but it's very, very good in the winter, is vitamin D. And I do take quite a high dose of this, and that's from Holland & Barrett. So I take vitamin D every day. I take marine collagen every day, again quite high dose. That's a Holland & Barrett one as well. It has got a little bit of extra vitamin C in it. So that's for aging skin, really. I take turmeric, and that's very good as an anti-inflammatory. So for people like me that suffer with arthritis, that can help things a little bit. I take evening primrose oil. These are all one a day, by the way. I take Holland & Barrett's Skin, Hair and Nails formula. Yeah. I do take a perimenopause supplement. I've been taking this for a couple of years. Again, it's a Holland & Barrett one. Perfectly natural. I think it's suitable for vegans as well. Don't quote me on that, I have to look into it. I haven't got my reading glasses on. It's definitely suitable for vegetarians. Hormone regulation, energy, psychological function, nervous system, and contains red clover, which is a source of phytoestrogen. That could be doing me some good, hopefully it is. I do take high dose vitamin C once a day, and I also take a ultra cranberry super strength cranberry supplement. I used to drink quite a lot of cranberry juice, but there's quite a lot of sugar in it. But it's very good for us ladies and our urinary tract systems and all of that, especially my kind of age group. So, and I take all of those with this, a glass of Barocca, which is like an effervescent energy drink. And I did have a chat with the doctor because she asked me if I take vitamin supplements, etc. I said, yes, I take these. She went, no, that's good. That's very, very good. Sometimes doctors, or sometimes this doctor said to me, sometimes doctors say supplements are they worth it? Are they really worth it? If you're getting a very good, healthy, balanced diet, you shouldn't really need to take supplements. But then this doctor was saying to me, everybody's different, everybody's metabolism is different, everybody's workings are different, and some days we don't eat as healthy as we should. So this literally just supplements a good, healthy diet. And for someone like me that can sort of dip quite easily with iron and things like that, I'm not always going to get it from food. So she was quite happy with the vitamin intake that I have. So I'm going to take those, and I've just realised that my little caddy, now I've taken everything out, is looking rather grubby. So that's going to need a clean. There's also a couple of Gracie's tablets in here. She has to take a tablet every day for migraines. So that's a bit icky. So I'm just going to clean that out with my ever trusty white vinegar. I think that's the best way to use. Just give that a little spray in there and leave it while I make my first cup of coffee of the day. And then it's coffee, vitamins, and I'm going to try and get my head together and start organising a bit and get this house back to how it should be. I've had a very full house this week as well because Adam's still home from uni. His girlfriend's been over because it was Adam's birthday the other day. He's 22 now. She came over for a few days. Grace has a boyfriend. Breaking news. He's been around for a while actually, but he's lovely. And he's been here most evenings, and Paul's been here. So there's been some days, some nights I've had 6 people in the house. On a week where I've been a bit overwhelmed. Anyway, it's nice and peaceful this morning. So it's a day to get some jobs done. Let's get cracking. Well, it's surprising how much better you feel when you just do a little bit, and just to know that the kitchen is now a bit more hygienically clean and things have been put away has made me feel a little bit better. And I think when you're trying to keep a household tidy, when you've been feeling a bit overwhelmed, it can be overwhelming in itself, and sometimes you don't know where to start. So I'm just doing a little bit, enough to make me feel like the house is running smoothly without going overboard. I'm going to put those hob tops in the dishwasher because they need a good clean. But all in all, that's a little bit better. So I'm not going to overdo it today, and I don't feel like I've got much energy, but I am just going to get to a point where things are just starting to feel a little bit more normal. So the other thing I always make sure I do every morning is make my bed. I think as soon as you've made your bed, it instantly makes a room look tidy and clean. My bed sheets probably do need a change actually. They have been on for a week now, but I'm not going to bother today. Again, I'm just giving myself some limits. But they're clean enough for now. Spray them with a bit of Febreze and I'll change them at the weekend. So having having my son home from university at the moment has given him the opportunity to do a declutter this week as well, which has been great, because his wardrobe in his bedroom has been long overdue a sort out. We've just done, well, he has rather just done a massive sort out in his wardrobe, and we've just taken a car full to the charity shop. We took it to the Salvation Army charity shop today. And of course, you know me and charity shops, I can't just go to donate. I do have to go and have a little look round. I've picked up 2 little purchases today that are actually not for me. They are gifts, and they popped them in this little bag for me to bring home, which actually is a gift in itself. It's a little Chatsworth bag, and it's a little, well, you know where, well, Chatsworth House. If any of you have been to Chatsworth House, it's very, very nice. And clearly that must have had presents in at some point, or one of their things from their gift shop, I would imagine. But that actually is going to be a really useful little bag to use going forward. So I was really pleased I came away with that. But 2 things I got are actually for Paul, aka the Invisible Chef. And I'm going to show you them now, because I'm going to give them to him this weekend. They're not surprises. There's lots of things I've bought for him recently that are surprises that I can't show you, because he does have a birthday coming up soon. So I can't share those with you yet, because he will see this. But the first thing I got in the charity shop for £5 was this. Look at the size of that. And the Invisible Chef is rather partial to a glass of red wine. So this was a sort of, I suppose, a bit of a jokey present in a way, because it is massive. You would probably get at least a bottle of red wine in there. And it's this beautiful purple glass, and then it's got this lovely design at the bottom. It's very, very heavy, but it actually has a very pretty rimmed top. Can you see that? I don't know if you can quite in the camera. So it's got this sort of wavy rim, which I would therefore think that the idea is that it's not used as a wine glass. I would say it's more of an ornament, and if it was me, I'd put a candle in there and have it on display. So I'm sure it's got a multitude of uses, but as he does like his red wine, I thought that was quite apt, little funny little gift for him. But that was £5, and I just think it's a bit different, especially with the rimmed top there. I thought it was quite pretty, very nice cut glass. So if he doesn't want it, I shall have it as an ornament, but we shall see. Oh gosh, and the next thing is very heavy, because I got him something he's been after for a while, a good old-fashioned pestle and mortar set, which is obviously solid marble, incredibly heavy. This was £15, but it is in immaculate condition. I will give it a clean, but it's immaculate condition, no chips, no marks, nothing. Really, really good. He has been after one for a long time, and I'm sure he's going to make very, very, very good use of that. So I think he's going to be very pleased I've picked that up for him today. Gosh, it's so heavy, but they're lovely, aren't they? I really like these, and I've been after one myself actually for quite some time, but he has particularly. I saw that he said he wanted one in black as well, so I thought that was absolutely perfect as a little gift for him this week. So those are the only 2 items I did get in the charity shop today, but I'm going to hang on to this, the free bag. So that's my little treat of the day. And yeah, nothing like a little bit of a shop to cheer you up, is there? Love it. So it is Thursday afternoon. It is about, well, it's coming up to 3:30. And it's been a week today since Lenny passed away, and since I've had my manic week leading up to that. And as I've said earlier in this video, I felt really overwhelmed. My anxiety levels have risen. I'm definitely grieving, and I have a severe amount of fatigue, generally feeling a bit yucky. I am improving a week on, definitely, but I know my limits. And what I have made myself do this afternoon, having fulfilled all my jobs and responsibilities today. I've taken Mom out and we've been shopping and we've been doing our usual things. But the other thing I'm concentrating on this week is limitation and resting as well. And I don't ever get time to stop, ever. Never get time to rest, and I certainly never get time to sit down on this sofa. But I'm making a point of it today. So I'm going to have an hour or so. I'm going to pop the telly on. I'm going to sit back, relax. I've put my candle on and I'm just going to watch a bit of frivolous TV. I'll find something on and have a moment of peace and quiet. And I think that whenever you do feel overwhelmed, this is something I learned a few years ago actually, but whenever you do feel overwhelmed, it's a good idea to recognize it, own it, know that you feel overwhelmed, know that you don't feel so good. And it's important to keep going in that you do bits and pieces, but limit yourself and be kind to yourself and to take a rest, because sleep and rest are very good for healing as well as keeping active. So, you know, I've done some jobs today. I've put the washing machine on. I've been shopping. I've done a little bit of sorting out in the house, just nothing major. I haven't done any deep cleaning or anything like that. I'm just keeping it at a level that is tidy and acceptable and perfectly fine to live in. Cooking the meals, doing those kind of things, but I am making sure that at any opportunity that I can, rather than think of, oh, what job can I do now, I'm going to take a rest. And I do think that's really, really important. So I'm going to find something on the telly and have a rest before I have to make a family meal. And those kind of actions and that kind of thinking has really helped me this week. So I think what I'm trying to say is, if you're in the same sort of position, or you're finding yourself anxious or just overwhelmed or just very, very tired, all those kind of things, just try and balance everything out, but own it. Own the fact that you don't feel great, but keep going, because if you do a little bit in the house and then have a rest, it will make you feel better, because you feel like you've done something, but you haven't had to climb a mountain. You haven't even had to climb a hill. You've just been able to do something, and be proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I've just been able to have my breakfast, clear up the kitchen things, put the washing machine on, make the bed, gone shopping, looked after a 93-year-old for part of the day, and now I'm going to take a rest and a break. Right, so let's see what we can find on the telly at 3:30 in the afternoon, which I never do, so who knows what we're going to find. Well, this will do. There's not much on, to be honest, but I've just found Series 1, Episode 1 of Poirot, and it's 50 minutes long, so it's just long enough for me to have a nice little rest for just under an hour before I make any dinner. Perfect. When you feel a bit overwhelmed, your brain basically is very full. It's very, very full of everything you've got to do and organise and sort and get completed every day. And when we're overwhelmed, basically it's like a cup full of water that is overflowing. And what we need to do is empty that cup of water down the drain. So the best thing to do when you are overwhelmed is to make things as easy as possible for yourself. You could also make a list and write things down of anything that's bothering you, and once it's written down you can go through those methodically. But in the meantime, it's best to keep things simple, know your limitations, and just really do as little as possible. So even with meals this week, I'm keeping it really basic. I'm just making very simple family evening meals, and I'm using jars. Tonight I'm making a very, very standard spaghetti bolognese with a jar of bolognese, so I don't have to think about buying all separate ingredients and proportions and mixing it all together. It's just very simple. Throw it in the pan, and you know what? Sometimes that really doesn't matter. And to be honest, it was really delicious and wholesome. And again, it's all part of a bit of self-care. having our moment on the bed. And well, as you can see, it's been a little bit of a full-on couple of weeks for me since the last time I saw you. But it's now the weekend. It's also a bank holiday weekend, which I'm really, really grateful for, because work has been super busy as well. And other people have been on holiday, so my workload's been a bit full on this last couple of weeks. Actually, that's done me a favour in many ways, because work has kept me distracted and I have to concentrate a lot at work. So that's been a good thing, actually. But I'm very tired. I keep saying that these days, don't I? I'm very tired. And I think a lot of that is menopause related as well. But it is the weekend and I've been without Lenny for over a week now, and things are starting to settle a little bit. It's still very strange him not being around in the house, but the other two cats seem fine. They don't seem to have taken a lot of notice, to be honest. The only thing I would say I've noticed is that Albert's a little bit more attentive with me, and I've had a couple of nights where he slept on the pillow here behind my head, at one point with his paw over my head, which was really cute, but he did that for a couple of nights. But he hasn't done that for the last 2 or 3 nights. Mila's just decided that she's taken over the house. I think she's quite happy that she's no longer being hissed at, or you know, she's not getting in the way anymore, bless her. But they haven't really bothered too much, or they haven't appeared to have, so that's good, because I was a bit worried that they might feel a bit confused and a bit lost, but they seem absolutely fine. But you know how they say all these things, you know, they come in threes, don't they, sometimes? And I think I had 4 or 5 or 6 different problems over the past couple of weeks. And the other one of which is Mom went to the doctors for a general sort of review, if you like, and was given a memory test, and she failed 100%. So it didn't come as a surprise. But the memory team are coming out to see her soon, and she's got to have some updated blood tests. So I'll keep you posted on that. But in herself, she seems well. She seems pretty fit and healthy, and the rest of her physical examination was great. Her blood pressure was absolutely spot on. The doctor was overwhelmed for her age. But, you know, obviously we're having memory problems, so that is quite hard work. It's quite draining. And but she's sort of happy in her world at the moment, which is fine. So we're getting out and about as much as possible, and I will hopefully film her in this next week or so when we go out and about. But it's just been so full on with one thing and another that I've just taken a bit of time this week to sort of take stock and get back into functioning. But this is the All Things Good channel, so hopefully, although this video has been a little bit sad and a little bit difficult actually for me to do, because as you know, I didn't vlog last week, and I went to pick up the camera to start this week and I wasn't feeling it, and that's not like me at all. So I knew that I was not right, but I've done it, and once I do it, I love it, and I love seeing you all, obviously, and I feel as if I'm starting to get back into the swing of it now. And sometimes, like I was saying earlier, it's a really good thing to, when you do feel overwhelmed, to actually keep on doing things, and especially things you enjoy, and even if you can only do a little bit, it means that the momentum will pick up again and you will get back into the swing of things. So I have just limited myself to everything that I do this week, you know, whether it's cleaning the house, making a meal, vlogging, doing what I do. I've sort of done it and then thought, right, now I'm going to have a break, or now I'm going to have a rest. So you can probably see that through this video, but I hope you realise that's what I've been doing from a self-care point of view. And as I say, it can't always be puppies and rainbows, can it? So we all have to go through these moments in life, and it's how you deal with them, I guess, and how you overcome them and how you move forward. And we can't go back into the past, and we don't have a crystal ball for the future, so we can only deal with the here and now And the here and now today is a lot better than it was for me last week. So I don't need to focus on that anymore. I can concentrate on the here and now. And I hope that this video has also perhaps helped you a little bit if you've had a difficult couple of weeks, or if you've experienced the things I've experienced in the past couple of weeks, maybe not recently, but you will have probably experienced those, and you'll know how it feels. But I also know that I can take on board things quite massively sometimes, and one thing I'm really proud of myself over the past couple of years is learning my own boundaries and strengthening my own boundaries and having more boundaries than I used to, and just looking after myself a little bit more, which is really important, especially as I've got other responsibilities as well. So if I'm not on form, I can't help everybody else around me that needs it. So it's important for me to stay focused and healthy and as good as I can, so that I can be the help that I need to be for others around me. Having said that, it's been lovely to still have Adam at home. My son, still back from uni. He's going back soon though. Time is flying, and the school holidays are nearly over with as well, aren't they? This year really is going by in the flash of an eye, isn't it? It's just untrue. I can't think of another year that feels like it's gone this quick. It's just racing away. But I do have something to look forward to, and that is I'm going on holiday. I'm going on holiday in about 3 weeks' time, and I am going abroad, and fingers crossed. At the moment it's very warm there, so hopefully it will be nice to get some early winter stroke autumn sun. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really going to do nothing when I'm there and just relax and enjoy myself completely. And with all different things that are going on, especially with Mom, it's difficult to know if and when I will be able to have another holiday, depending on how things progress there. Certainly not in the foreseeable future, and certainly not again this year. Wouldn't be till next year anyway. So I am looking forward to that, and it's going to be a restful one. It's going to be a restful one, but I will take you with me. I will be vlogging, obviously. But anyway, let me know what you've been up to the last couple of weeks. I have missed you. I have missed vlogging, and I have missed all your beautiful comments that I always get every week. It's so lovely, and I appreciate it so much. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do if you can. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If this is the first video of mine that you've watched, it isn't quite the norm. Had a bit of an interesting couple of weeks, but you might want to go back and look at some of the others. I do a bit of this, do a bit of that, cleaning, cooking, shopping, involving you in my day-to-day life, etc. But if you have enjoyed it, yeah, do give it a comment and a like and thumbs up and all those different things that you can do on here. And I will crack on and have a good, positive weekend, as I hope you do too. And I look forward to definitely seeing you next Sunday with a new video, which I hope will bring some happiness and some more positivity, and we'll be feeling that little bit better and stronger together again, won't we? So anyway, until next Sunday, stay safe, stay in the boat, and keep doing all things good. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you. Take care.